Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22 Youth Factory. This is episode 43. We are ready to kick off a new season a day ahead of the rest of the league. So we have a Saturday kickoff feature match. We'll see how this one goes. It's against Haugesund, but we are at home. This has definitely been an upper mid kind of team. This is a winnable match for us, but we enter this season loaded with drama. Over the last week and over the last month, we have been facing administration. Things are not yet resolved with that. We are still in administration at this stage. The creditors definitely not happy yet with, any money coming their direction. Finances continuing to deteriorate, but we'll see how things go now that we're actually going to stand to earn at least a little bit of money with a home match here to open the season. Home match to open the season. That actually could be a decent crowd. We'll see how that one turns out. And as we kick off this season opener, we have 3 changes to the side. One out of necessity, a yellow card accumulation at the end of the season for Ostby sees him unavailable for today. And so we have a young player in Hermansen who's going to get the start over him. But we also have a U19s player who has developed a bit away on loan, and he's earned his way into the starting lineup over Christopher Al, who, although fast, is not been a good option on the right-hand side and definitely has not put up great numbers, though he's done okay on the right-hand side. And that is Gay getting the start, and he's already into the box. See how he does here. He earns us a corner in the first play of the season. And third change is that Moen finally is going to get the chance to start in goal. Now, out of my 5 goalkeepers, Moen is the only one that has seen any development at all from their intake. And that is literally a +1 to his current ability. 2 seasons on loan. The last season out on loan for the second half of the season ended up with 0 starts. So that was really disappointing, as he was supposed to be a regular feature for the team that he was with, as Arsen takes the first shot, at least visibly for us, of the season, though technically it's the third. So far, we're off to a good start, as it's been all us, but here's a corner kick chance for them. We headed that away, but they're going to get another shot at it. Here into the box, cross in, Fawoli intercepts, and we start the counterattack the other way. Lavas sets up Bergam. Bergam to the edge of the box, lays it off for Gay. Gay inside, helping with possession there, and looked like we had a real chance, but nothing happens, and Lavas gets called offside, though I'm not sure he was ever in an offside position there, though, but my eyes certainly weren't glued to it. Absolutely could be wrong. And early on, we looked like a strong contender, but one play and things could go haywire just like that, as they finally get their first shot of the match. Bergam, Gay inside, cuts in. He's got the far post wide open. Keeper challenged and then dropped, and there was a real opportunity there. Gay missed the target. Gillo misses the target as well, but right now we are looking likely to score any time. Only 1 shot on target out of 7 attempts already. We need to shoot better than that. That looked well offside, as he went very, very, very early. Thiessen Byberg chips the goalkeeper to get the goal, and we'd have to see more from this. But based on how things are, if he's already 15 yards behind us before the ball ever reaches him, and we started running the moment the ball was kicked, obviously he could be running ahead of time, but there's no way he's going to have a 15-yard advantage over the defender with no improved highlight to really see where he's standing. You can't tell for sure. But yes, I understand if we're at a standing start and he's already on a running start, that he's going to have an advantage. But 15 yards advantage? I don't think so. He's going to have a couple yards advantage. It looked like he was well offside, and of course, notably, the Norwegian refereeing has been awful. This time, though, very much onside. This time, very much deserved. And we trail 2-0 in a game in which they've only had 3 shots. This time, one defender way out of position, and we cannot get underneath Thiessen Byberg, even though we're chasing him down. 27, I'm assuming that's Gay. It is. Gay can't find his man. Bergam gets up, wins the header, goes near post, hits the outside of the post, and we are just struggling here early on and trail 2-0. So we go from total domination to, oh, look, they found literally 2 plays. They've had 3 shots. XG wise, we're doubling up on them. We should have a goal. We've tripled them up on shots. We are more than double their possession, and yet we trail not even by 1 but by 2 goals. Let's go from positive to attacking. We need to if we're going to get anything out of this game. Severetta heads that away at the end of the first highlight. Bergam blasts that one, but it's straight above the keeper's head. And off of that corner, we can't make anything happen. Don't even give a second chance as we eventually just pull back and give it away. Is the absence of Ostby really hurting us that much? Andreasen, not happy and on a yellow. Might be time to bring him off. He's struggling a bit today anyway. Let's go ahead and give the debut to Jordan Modeste, our new backup left midfielder. We certainly have some better options, but it's amazing that we can control this game and have 90% of the chances, but them convert all but 1 chance that they've had in this game. Gay steps in, not picking up Thiessen Byberg. Again, Thiessen Byberg making everything happen for their team. All 4 chances have been him at the center of it, scoring 2, assisting 1, and missing the other opportunity. But it's been all Thiessen Byberg. Gillo having a terrible day. Let's go ahead and sub him off for Jakobsen. Jakobsen involved in some drama. I mentioned that there was... Oh my goodness. How do we keep missing all of these chances? Lavas is having a terrible game. Let's go ahead and bring on Mankiewicz. A youth infusion in this game. So far, not working out too well. By the way, I mentioned that we've got some drama as Modeste misses his first chance. I'm not sure where he was going with that. The goal was the opposite direction of where he kicked it. I suppose he was looking for the assist. But all of these players that left and came back, there's 19 guys suddenly on... Wow, what the heck is going on here? Bergam. It looked like the keeper got a piece, but it was out for a goal kick. So either it's a bad call or he was the one who scraped the post and had that one come out. We've outshot them. We've outshot them 3-1, and yet we are losing by 3 goals. Ay. Ugly mess. Well, anyway, all of these guys are expecting star player treatment. Now, I've started to deal with that. I've taken virtually the bottom 6 players of those 19, one challenge at a time. The 6 that definitely are not going to get star player level treatment. We can only handle so much drama at once. And I've taken those and given them their expected, whether it was youngster, whether it was fringe, whether it was rotation, and given them the appropriate level of expected playing time. And for that, I got a couple to full on accept and convince them, hey, this is where you belong. And they're like, you know what? You're right. I've had a couple marginally disagree, going, gosh, that wasn't fair. But yeah, I know. And so they're not happy, but they weren't super pissed off. Couple very, very upset. But the other drama is that Haukeberg came up last season. And Haukeberg has developed rapidly, not only to just overtake Jakobsen, who is our captain and has been our captain for a very long time. He's not only overtaken Jakobsen, but excelled to be our best defender. Jakobsen, when Haukeberg was one of the ones who left and returned, when Haukeberg returned, Jakobsen instantly freaked out. He's been signed to replace me. And now we're dealing with that drama. And that, at the moment, is the most worrying. Because he is the captain. He has the ear of a lot of players. A lot of important players on the team. and they are agreeing with him. So at the moment, to cool that off, he still remains as a first team player in terms of playing time, but also he's been promised first team player status. So we're going to have to give him some starts. We're going to have to rotate Halkeberg, Severette, and Gillo a fair bit to get Jakobsen on the pitch for a little while to cool him off. Otherwise, we're going to have a serious problem on our hands besides all these other guys with this star player treatment. So, with all these guys out and back in, these creditors have given me a real issue to deal with. Now, I'm happy to have those players back, but we've got a challenge. We've got a mess on our hands. The locker room is not good. It's not uniform. It's not collective. We're going to have to rebuild that. And it really showed today. We absolutely dominated the opposition and lost 3-0. Are we going to be facing a relegation battle, especially if there is a points deduction coming early in the season? Could be. We'll figure it out. We'll get through this. For now, let's push forward a few weeks and see if there's any developments on the administration front. I'd love to see that resolved soon. Great news. Literally the next day, club has successfully negotiated the restructuring of all remaining debts. Our new financial position will ensure that we remain a competitive force in the future. Our overall balance, $667 in debt. That is $1.75 million wiped out. That is also a new loan in place. The old loan is gone. So the $775K has been restructured and added in, and we now have a $1.6 million debt. So we went from $2.5 million. It looks like they have absorbed $1 million. We now have $1.5 million debt. So cleaned out a good portion of the debt we had. It replaced it with, well, more than half of the overall, but it's certainly less than what we had. And our payable per month is a lot higher than it was. It was, I think, $2,700 a month. Now it's almost $10K. So, I mean, it's quadrupled. That's going to cost us a lot. And that was already becoming the majority of our monthly payments, which means that we're back into a situation where we are going to be losing a fair bit of money again. At the moment, though, there is nothing in regards to punishment. It's just we've been restructured and we have a new loan, and it's an expensive one. What was the timetable on that, by the way? 2047. Oof. No wonder it's so expensive. We went from a 25-year loan that we had already paid down a good bit of the way. I mean, it was down to $600K actually, so it wasn't $750. Still, overall, I think that's approaching 2.5. So it wiped out $1 million of debt. That's all you can say. But we now have a 15-year loan, which is going to be a lot harder to pay back, as it's a lot more costly than the old one. But I think that combined with better income will probably come out to be about the same. That's my guess. That's my guess is we're going to lose, maybe not. Maybe the income will be better. Actually, I think it really should be. So we're still going to be losing money, but it's still not going to be as bad as it had been. We'll see. Let's give it some time. Let's give it a couple months, and we'll see where the club's at, whether we are still in a spiraling debt pattern or whether it's just a marginal. But it's definitely still going to be debt. We're still going to incur monthly debt. I can guarantee you that much. I don't think we're going to suddenly find ourselves making a profit and getting out of this situation. Maybe a trip to Tier 2 could do that. And let's see if we incur a penalty in the coming days. I wouldn't be surprised if the league assesses one, because we did enter administration after all. And just checking in, for now, yes, we are still technically in administration. They've just sorted the debt at this stage. So we'll keep an eye out. This is definitely going to change things. I was thinking about trying to take advantage of our current situation without penalty, debt wiped, and approach the board for something. But because we are still in administration, that means we would be approaching the creditors, not the board. And they would absolutely say no to any expenses. So no use trying to ask for something at the moment. Let's see what transpires with this. And I just dealt with 3 more players that were listed as stars. One of them happily accepted, 2 of them pretty negative about their response, but the entire team is really negative right now, especially surrounding the Jakobsen situation. Their club captain being upset is making everybody upset. So a terrible attitude, terrible mood around the locker room means, yeah, we're 0-2 to start the season. But the club can happily confirm that we have exited the administration process after a deal which was struck with creditors and new chairperson Eirik Nørgaard's plans to run the club on a sound financial footing were approved. Club is now in a position to refuse and negotiate transfer offers again. Popular head coach Decathlon gamer joined, blah, 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 blah. 11 years in charge now. Okay, we are no longer in administration. Let's push forward a day and see what happens with that one. We'll see if we're still listed as in administration and see if we get anything from the league. Last I checked, we were still technically in administration. Okay, we are back to just simply insecure. No longer listed as in administration. That's good. That's really good. Now, insecure could mean a lot of things. Where are we at? We have a positive balance of 20,000. We just played a home game. 2 home games to be exact, but 1 since the debt was wiped out. So the gate receipts are there. The TV revenue is there. Now, of course, the expenses haven't been incurred currently. Now seems the perfect time to try to do something, as this is going to get ugly at the turn of the month, which is just days away. So while we have a chance, let's try something. We have training facilities. Youth facilities are already up there, so we're good there, but professional status is an option. And we have something personal, like a coaching course. Make our staff better. Let's ask for that one, because that's pretty dang minor. We still have literally a level 1. So we're going to ask about the coaching course. We'll see how that goes. We're unwilling to grant your request. They cannot afford it right now. Let's try to discuss it with the board. Doesn't hurt. Permission to go. And they just said no. Okay. Well, we tried. Let's see what happens with the league now. So with the added losses of an additional $7,500 per month for that loan repayment, I would estimate that we're probably looking at a negative balance of $100,000 per season. That's my guess. It's going to take a few months to really see where the club's at financially. But if I were to venture a guess, that's where I'd say we're at. However, that situation actually looks a little bit worse. Team looks like a bunch of replacement players. The atmosphere has changed. They're not happy. And I have a feeling that being in the administration process has impacted our attendance. I have a feeling that the fans are aware of the situation and they were not pleased. Here's why I assume that. Our attendance was really poor. We were up to about 1,100 or almost 1,100 per match by the end of the season. We started this season, our first home match, which you should get a bumper crowd for that one. 901, 914 for the next match a week later. That's not good. That is not good. We've got a couple of away matches, including third cup round, before we then play at home against the recently promoted side. We are no longer in administration. Let's hope we restore normalcy and get our crowd back up. Otherwise, a couple hundred fans less per match, yeah, that's going to impact our finances a bit and give us another headache. It's not going to put us down at the 250K per season that we were losing, but I have a feeling that would definitely bump us down a bit more, maybe 150. Either way, finances have taken a step in the right direction. Wiping out $1 million worth of our debt is a step in the right direction. But our finances are still a worry, for sure. Let me repeat again that the odds of drawing away at a top team in the third or fourth rounds are incredibly low. Fifth round, those odds go up quite a bit. They're still not that high. We haven't played our third round match yet, but they split the league basically in two. Well, not the league, the Norwegian sides in two. And 1 week, half of the games are played. The next week, the other half of the games are played. We're in the second week. The first week just happened, and then a day or two later, they've done the fourth round draw. So with only half the matches actually played at this stage. Well, anyway, we're drawn on the road again. I don't think I've had a single home draw in 4 years. And we're again drawn to literally the top series. Rosenborg, league winner a year ago, I believe. So not only is it the elite Syrian, it's the top team on the road. We'll get a share of that cash at least, but oh my goodness. I can't believe. Oh, wait, we still have to get through our next game to even have that chance. Let's hope we do that. We could use the cash. It took us 5 matches, including a third round cup exit, before we finally got our season off to a start. But we have won a match. Unfortunately, it was against the team that was literally one spot above us in the standings. As we sat last place, they sat 13th. They opened the game with a 12th minute penalty, but then we battled back to win 3-1. Still only a crowd of 954. 20 of that was away fans though, so maybe our position in the standings had something to do with that. It was certainly a better crowd than what we had when we were fully in administration, and maybe we'll bounce back to that 1,000 or 1,100 once we kind of get the morale sorted, get the team performing a little bit better, move up the standings. Certainly that's the hope. I don't want to suddenly find ourselves in a relegation battle this season just because morale is low. One way to address that is absolutely to get in and impact the morale of the team through training. Do things that are going to build the locker room atmosphere and make the guys a little bit happier. One thing that I've been kind of looking into here is the squad, kind of where we stand. I just did like 4 new contracts for players the moment we came out of administration. A lot of guys were like, I need a new contract. So again, upset people are more likely to make themselves heard. And that's definitely been the case. This bottom end from Gankarjik down, I have addressed the star players. Most of these guys were seen as star players. Only a couple exceptions. Christopher Al, the only one still here at the bottom that remains on the star player status, so we need to fix that one still. Pena, Vig, Sciole. There's definitely a few players here that are supposed to be youngsters that aren't seen as youngsters that are getting star player treatment. Now, of course, these guys, I'm okay leaving them there for now. I don't need to address it, but those on that 300 per annual, those are all players that left the club, which you can see is almost all of the first team, the senior team, that is. So Sabani, Stensby Jakobsen, literally the only players on this bottom end that weren't in that situation. So I have addressed it with quite a few players now, and plenty of them are unhappy. And here is that situation. You can see there's a number of promises that are now out there, and it's all based around Jakobsen. And because of this, a month ago, by the way, I'd been on this page, not for you on camera, but I'd been on this page. Morale was high for literally everybody. Jakobsen, who had already had his initial moment of I'm not happy, his morale was low, and his overall happiness was content. He was not concerned with management. All of these supporting teammates have to do with the Jakobsen situation. Severide, Gillo, Calzi, it's all about contracts on those promises, but they've already had those dealt with. And you can see that Vig is the only very happy player right now. The overall happiness, we have slightly unhappy. I mean, it's not terrible. We have a couple slightly unhappies, but it's not good. We have a couple very happy players, a few happy players. Yeah, that's it. Morale is pretty low. I need to deal with this. I really, really need to deal with this. A Sabani issue, right? He's on the bench, but he's the only one who's super unhappy with training. I'm going to go ahead and fix that one now. It's the goalkeeper distribution requirement. We have gotten him to pick up his vision, but my goalkeepers just do not develop. So let's bring that to none, and that should help a little bit. But I'm just annoyed with the lack of progress with my goalkeepers. I have 2 good goalkeeping coaches, and yet we make 0 progress. Apparently level 3 training facilities is not enough for goalkeepers. It's enough for other players in the outfield, but not enough for goalkeepers. Sabani, unhappy, 4.9. No wonder he's not training well. Anyway, we're finally off the bottom with just 3 points. At the moment, that's enough to sit 10th. That's not enough, though, clearly. IL Express, who we just beat, -9, and they have no points on the season either. So, actually, apparently we were 13th. The +3? No, we were -7, they were -6. So, yes, we were last, just on goal differential. Wait a second. That was a +2. They were -7, we were -6. So we were 1 spot off the bottom. But anyway, not the point. We've really sucked it up to start the season here. So not happy with how things are going. Our profit loss for the season is already -100,000. We're incurring debt rather rapidly at the moment. So yeah, okay. At least the overall balance is nearly 0 for now. Payroll, we're at 60,000 of a possible 71, so we've got about 10,000 to play with for those demanding new contracts, and kind of deal with that accordingly. But Ranheim, who's supposed to be at the bottom, on 15 points at the moment. Jeez, who did they sign? Sandefjord right up there where they belong, 4 wins from 4 played. Haugesund, Odd, Brann, same teams near the top. Asker, Airedale, both off to good starts. Strømsgodset, who won a couple seasons ago and then got relegated, not looking the same team that went up, as they only have 5 points from 4 played. I could certainly see us moving up in the near future, up to about 6th, if we can get the morale sorted. But man, oh man, have we got our hands full with that one. It definitely includes getting Jakobsen on the pitch to see that one out. But I think I also need to sort out a few more players who are on that star player treatment that don't belong on the pitch, because that's part of the reason why we're struggling. But it seems mostly around the morale. And somehow, and it may not be the case for long, but somehow we have managed to avoid penalty from the league for going into administration. For all we know, it could happen next season, as it was not resolved until after the start of this season. But I would think we should see something on that soon, if there is going to be something. So look out for that one into the next episode. That's going to do it for now. I'm obviously going to push forward and get going with things. This could be a very, very fast season if we are not involved in relegation or a battle for promotion. The finances, that would be one thing to keep an eye on, obviously, to see how much better it is or how much worse it is. At the moment, it's not looking so good on that part. That extra $7,500 a month is certainly hurting us. Overall, our expenses, though, are better than they were. But is that per month? Not really. So I don't know if that really balances out. I think our expenses went up and our income went up, which means maybe we're in the same boat we were in before, just with a reset overall balance and $1 million less overall net red. Well, anyway, That's going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.